Hi, so in this today's video I'm going to make you a login system. I hope you will enjoy it, so let's get started. So first we need to create a file which will be the login.php file. In this file we are going to create the uh, HTML and the logic for the entire login thing. So for today's video, I'm going to use the Tailwind CDN. So I should just bring this. So first of all, I'm going to put here an htaccess file because I really hate when I have to write this .php here. So I'm just use the rewrite cond. So first of all, I'm going to put here a div, and this div will be a class with a width of 40 and a height of 60. In this div, I will have some inputs with the name of username. This will be required, and the placeholder with the username, and we'll put a class on it later. Basically, I can copy this here and another. You know what? I just input submit this and login, and we will write this to password and as this to password. So now, if I refresh here, we have two inputs. Let me just write it to password. So we have two inputs and a button. So let's design this because this is not that pretty. So first of all, width full with a padding of 4. Basically, if you don't know what this is, these are just Tailwind classes. I'm using right now the CDN, and this is why you can't see that what is this right now. But if you are actually install it to your project, you can find it on the Tailwind website how to do it. Then it will write it for you. So basically, this is just a width 100%, and this is just a padding on all four sides. This is just basically one RAM, if I remember correctly. So after that, I will put a border on it, and I will make the border black. So let's see how does it look. Okay, basically it's good. Now I will just make this thicker. Uh, now it's better. So I will just make this as the same border black. Maybe I think that I can take this to just padding 2. Really nice, really nice. I will just put a gap to here. Oh, I need to put the flex here, and of course the flex row. I mean flex call. Okay, and now I will just give it a flex and justify content, and then items center. Oh, and I almost forgot. Screen and this screen. Oh, not content center. Yes. So I will give this box a background of zinc 80, and I will give this a padding 2 or a padding 4. So now I just give some design to the login button as well. This will get the what should it get? It will get the width full 2 with a padding 2, and I will just make it a big white and text black. So I don't need to put this text black here, but if I put there, then nothing happens. So and I will put a margin top 2 on it, and it can be 4 just so we can see the bigger gap there. And basically it's only one thing that I forgot, which is that the form we actually leave it empty, and the method will be the post method which we will be using. So you can bring this down here, and now we can start to write the logic for it. So first of all, the first thing that we need to do is that we need to create the database connection, which we will be doing this way. So we're going to define everything, and then we're going to connect on the database, and in this way we can use the PDO connection type, which will be much safer. So if you are using it on just localhost, then you will have the DB username root and the DB pass will be empty, and the host will be localhost. Oops. So, and of course the DB name will be what we create now. So let's just create a new database, which we will name as login system create, and we will going to need a table which I will call users, and we will need a column for ID, the username, and the password. It will be enough to use 3. So we going to make the ID, and this is really important to make it auto increment, because in that way the database will be organized and will be good. And it won't happen that you will have two same rows, and it will just blow everything away. So after that we need a column for the username. This will be a varchar with hundreds characters length, for example, the password. And yes, so click save, and now that we have this here, we can use it. So if we come back to here, you can see that I gave it the name login system, and now we can connect to it easily. So after that, we will going to make string, which can be this, because we only just need it to make our function clear. I will show you just a moment. So the host will be, oops, the host will be the db host, and the db name will be the db name. And if we don't get the connection, if the connection is not equal with this video, so basically this if will give us an error, for example failed to connect, if we cannot connect to the database. So in this way you can make things easily. So db user and db pass. This way we can now connect to the database. So now we can start to make the login actual system. So first of all, we will require our database. So I just going to write database.php, and this way we can now use the connection. So we will check if we got from the server a request method, which will need to be equal to post because we are using the post method. And if we got, then we can, for example, create a username string which will hold the post username. So basically this post username will be equal to what you typed here, because we gave it the name username, and in this way this post form will just send uh, the content of this input here, and we can save it in string. So we can do the same thing with the password, post password, and if we have those things, then we just need to check if this is existing, if this combination is in the database. So we need to create an array in which will we put the username, which we will this will be equal to username, and password will be equal to password. Now we need to write the SQL, which will be a simple select, because we will select everything from the users table, because now we just need to use the table name, because we are connected to the login system database, and now we just need to use the users table. We will get everything from there, and we will put here this where clause, which will check if the username is equal to the username. So basically this will check if we will get that data where the username in the database is equal to the username which was written in the input. So now we just need to connect to the database to get the data. We will use the prepare function. We did this PDO connection, so we can use the prepare function. Now we put here this check where we going to execute the array into the SQL. After that we check if we have a check. So basically the check will be true if we could connect to the database and get the data, and the check will be false if we couldn't. So if you use this check, then you can make an else for it. So else can't connect to the database, try again later. And in this check, we will oops, we'll get our data fetched from the a lot of things that we got back from the database. I will use the fetch object because I'm always using this, and then we will make a check if we got a data. So if we got something back, then it will be greater than 0, and then after that we only get the first data, which is in the which is in the array that we got back, and after that we can save in the session. So basically this session is a variable that is available across the browser until the user does not close the browser. So if you set the session, for example, name here equal to the data username, which we got back, then until the user does the then until the user doesn't close the browser, you can use this session. So for example, if I create here index.php, I can use this session here, and I will show you in a minute how to do that. So if we got back the data, then basically we can just header location to the index and die this page. So basically this is it. I will write this here, and in this index I will just write out here the session name so I can show you how it's working. And one thing I almost forgot, you need this session start here if you want to use the session variable. So if we now go here into our database login system, then we will need to add manually something to the database so we can log in. I will just give this ASD and 123 as a password, and I will just go, and if I check it, then it's now here. So oops, I just wrote it, request now. And now if I write here with ASDD with two Ds, then we get an error because I forgot. I put the password into the array too, so I will just need an end. I said end password equals to password, and now we can check it. Nothing happens because this isn't existing. And if I put here the right things, one small thing that I almost forgot, and this caused the error message what we got, is that I need to put here the PHP, in the PHP, the session start to, and this way it will, yeah, now if we go to the index.php, we can see the ASD. And if I copy this and for example I put here gauge, and I just log in with this, then this will be wrote here. So basically this is it. This is just a very basic login system which does not have, for example, an error checking, because we could write out some errors. For example, if the if those datas mm, doesn't exist, which was written in the input, and yeah. So this is just a really basic login system. If you want to see more, for example, registration system or a more complex login system, then write it down in the comments or just give this video a like, and I will do this. I hope you like it. See you guys soon. Bye bye.